Let's go through the appraisal module. Appraisal module is used for performance management on employees. So I'll go through the process of appraisal. So we have masters. On the masters, here is where we set parameters that will be used on appraisal. On rank group, we come up with the marking scheme or marking range. For example, in a scale of 1 to 5, the highest performer, like an excellent performer, then 1 is the unacceptable performance or poor performer. So it can be a scale of 1 to 5, 1 to 10, depending on which scale you're using or which rank group you're using. So you configure on the system. So you can give it a name. Let's say maybe ranking group, annual ranking group. Then you design your ranking group. So you put a score. If somebody scores a 1, that's a poor performance. If somebody scores a 5, that is an excellent performance. The name of rank, then here you add your rank group. So you put the name. If it's poor factor, then you put 1. Then you can describe it as an acceptable performance. You add to it. Okay. So after you've configured that, then you have appraisal cycle. Appraisal cycle, you come up with cycles that are applicable to you. We have those who does appraisal maybe annually, once in a year. So we can call it an annual appraisal. We can have a probation appraisal. We can have a mid-year. Maybe if you do the first 6 months, you call it the mid-year. Then we have the annual appraisal. Okay. So also here you just click on add data. Then you'll type in the type of appraisal. So you'll type in the name of the appraisal, then start date when the appraisal starts, then when it ends. You select the type of ranking that you had designed there. Then if you have any opening days, like maybe you start appraising yourself between this date to this date, then you put that. So we have goal master, goal type master. Here's where you define the type of goals. Okay, so we have those key primary indicators that each and every employee has to achieve of a given type of. So here is just putting the type. Okay, so we can have the short term type of goal, we can have the long term. So here you're just giving the type. Maybe it's a short term, then you have a long term. So after you've done that, then we have goal master. On the goal master, now here is where you design. Okay, you design your key primary indicators or goals for each and every employee. It can be department wise, it can be individual wise. So here you'll have to define for each and every. So here you will type in maybe a department name, okay, or the name of an individual you're creating for them, those key primary indicators. Okay, so it can be department wise or employee wise. Once you've done that, then you come here and you add the goals. The goals are to add up to 100%. So each and every goal has to have a weightage. So you can have a child goal and a parent goal. So when you're coming up with the goals, you have to define. Then you type in your key primary indicator or your goal. For example, you may say by mid of the year you should have filed maybe all the iTax if it's a finance person. So if it's a parent goal, you don't select any sub goal here. You put when that goal starts and when it ends. Then you have to put the weightage here. Once you've done that, you can put description here describing how this employee or you are going to achieve this certain goal. Okay, so once you've done that, so you key in all your forms, all the KPIs on your forms. Then once you finish, you click save. So you have update goal description. This is whereby once you've configured, like for example the appraisal, and you want to put an extra description, you come on update goal description. Then you should be able to, so the existing goal will appear here, then you can add additional description. You have skills master. So when an employee is being assessed on performance, we may decide also we want to check skills. Skills can maybe cut across uniform across the company, or can be department wise. So you come up with there also the skills. So just the same way we did the goals, you have to key in the type of skills, what is the weightage, then if you have any description on how to achieve that skill or on what to look for that skill, then you should add it there. So you'll type in the name of the template, name of the skill. So just the same way we added the goals, then you'll come here and type in your skills. So they'll have to add up to 100% again. So after skills, we have recommendation. So on the recommendation here is whereby you come up with recommendation on appraisal. Okay, you create all the recommendations that you want. Okay, so we can have maybe promotion after appraisal, somebody is promoted, salary increment, demotion. So all those recommendations that you want, like the appraiser or the final appraiser to put, then we can have there. So question category, the system allows us to have employee maybe to answer some question which will inform the management on several issues on appraisal. Okay, so we'll come up with category of these questions. This category can be maybe department wise, maybe key KPI wise, or goal wise. So you come up with these questions. Also you can decide maybe they are just feedback type of question and then general question. So then you'll come up with a questionnaire. Questionnaire is just a bank of questions that you'll input in the system, so that once we put a template, we can peg these questions are for this department, these questions are for this department. So you click add data. Once you click on add data, you should be able to come up with those questions. Okay, so these questions can be selective, true or false, text. So these are sample of the questions that you can come up with. Okay, so we have a template. Template is just now compiling the question that you put in the question bank. So you come up with template, maybe department wise you've decided on. So then you put that over here. So you put the template, then you put it over here. Okay, so template can be year wise, or so here is just a compilation of the question that we created up here. So those questions can be maybe department wise, group wise. So once you come with that, then we create a template. So templates will consist of the question you've set. Let me just click on edit, so we see how you compile these questions that you've created up there with the goals that you've developed. In case you have any skills, so you include here. We're just creating a form that now we'll submit it to employee, then employee come up with. So remember, we've created goals, we've come up with questions, set of questions that we want them answered. Then maybe if skills are applicable, also we come up with the skills. So you put your introduction here, then you put, in case for evaluator, then you put You come up with the question that you had created there, then you come and select on question for evaluator. You add all the questions that you put, then you'll come up with the goals. Remember, your goals have to add up to 100 and 100%. You come up with skill also. Then career zone, in case you want to set for the employee goals for the next year. So then you add them here. Okay. Once you've done that, then we have reporting structure. Actually is just the flow. Like if employee A does his or her appraisal, where will the appraisal go? So it's set here for the all employee. So the system knows once employee has done his appraisal, then where does the appraisal go? So after you've set all the reporting structure or the flow, so we have policy. And where you see policy is just a policy, company policy on appraisal. So that if you want users also to read on their own appraisal, then they'll come up on policy. We have appraisal label setting. This is in case you want to change the wording. So we have appraisal settings. Those are settings that affect appraisal. So those ones we'll do it at installation. We'll put parameters depending on your requirements. Okay. We have email template. We have all email template already configured on the system. If you want to change the design of how the email, for example, once the employers submitted his appraisal, you can edit, but we have already inbuilt template. Okay. Sometimes you want to import the appraisal. You remember when we are creating goals, you can have several goals which are tedious. So the system allows you to fill in the same on an Excel sheet. So the template is provided, you fill in, you put the weightages, and you import on the system. There is configuration from copy, configuration from existing cycle. Here is whereby you decide you want to copy, there is a flow of certain appraisal. Maybe a mid-year appraisal same as the end-year appraisal. So rather than having a configuration repetition, you will come here and select which one you want to, then you copy the same. Okay. So appraisal email setting, here is where you set the email. Like once some employee submit his or her appraisal, where does it go? So we have to guide the system on the same. So once you've done with the masters, you'll come on transaction. So on transaction, we have appraisal configuration. On appraisal configuration, you select the template you created up there. You remember the template we created had goals, had skills, and we had put set of questions. So here you'll come and select the appraisal cycle you configured up there. You select if it's annual, if it's, then the template name, you input the name of the template. Okay. Goal, you remember the goal ranking type we put there. Then you input skills. In case also the skills are ranked differently, then you'll have to input it there. So once you do that, the question will appear automatically. Then you'll have your goals here. You'll put your skills here. The skills that are configured there, they will appear here depending on the. So in case there's any career zone that you had set on the template, they will appear here. Then we have the employee. So here is where you come and select the employee. So once you click on this button here, it will give you a list of employees. You can search by department. In case the template is department wise. If it's individual, you search by payroll number, then you add them. So once you finish, you will submit. Once you click submit, it will submit for you to start or initiate that process. Once you employee can log in and now appraise themselves. Okay. So we have updation and goal tracking. Updation and goal tracking is used to update. For example, we are doing an annual appraisal, but some goals start from, maybe they run throughout from January to December. So we need to track this goal, maybe by mid-year, how many how far employee has scored. So this is used for tracking. So we have active appraisal. On active appraisal, this one will show all those appraisals that are active. Okay, if employee logs in and his appraisal has been initiated or started, so once they come on active, they should be able to see your own active appraisal. So you log in, you go to on active. Active appraisal will show you all the active appraisal. So employee comes in, then they rate him or herself. Okay, so then we have appraisal archive. Appraisal archive consists of all those appraisals that have been completed. So all those appraisals that have completed, they go on appraisal archive. Okay, so sometimes you have appraisal recommendation import. This is whereby you have for several people. Okay, for several people you want to import recommendation, like employee A should be promoted. So rather than keying in one by one, we can import that appraisal. Okay, so you have reporting structure change. You remember on the master we had a reporting structure, but you decide now you want to change employee A will not be appraised by manager by A. So you come here at appraisal and you do your reporting structure change. Then you change that appraisal. Okay, so we have the 360 appraisal. 360 appraisal is whereby one employee can appraise the other, or an employee can be appraised by the manager, and can be appraised by the manager. Okay, then also an employee can also appraise the manager. So it's a bi-directional appraisal. Okay, so on this feature we have existing template. You can select an existing template, but if it's a new template, basically you have to input it. So remember this template I said, just like on the normal appraisal here, you decide if it's individual, department wise. So then you come up with, so you'll have to select the template name. If it's employee wise, just input the name of the employee, but if it's department, just input the department. So here you'll add your goals. So you add up your goals, add up to 100%, and you click save. With this template you can import a file. So you fill it on an Excel sheet, the goal description and weightage, then you import the same on the system. So we have appraisal email template. So we have the existing email on the system. Okay, so in case you want to change, for example, if I'm a user, I've appraised myself, I've submitted, so there's an email, the auto email from the system that will go to my manager saying that employee A has done his appraisal. Log on to the system and finalize or do your configuration. Okay, so those emails are existing, but if you want to customize them, you can customize them at 360 appraisal email template. After that, we have appraisal configuration. So on appraisal configuration, we said here is where now you come and tag that appraisal to an employee. Just the way we did on the masters, here also you come and tag it to a certain employee. Okay, so once you've done that, you've tagged, then we can ask so currently I've not any 360 that I've configured. They shall we could have shown it here. So once you've done that, we have active appraisal. So active appraisal are those appraisal that are active, that are open. If you've logged in as a user, then you should be able to see your active appraisal. So you log on to the system and you appraise yourself. Then you put the score for each and every goal. Then you click submit. Once you submit, it goes to send an email to your manager. Your manager appraises you. Then you finalize. Once any appraisal has been finalized, they come and sit under appraisal archive. So all those completed appraisal will come and sit here. So they come and each cycle you're doing. So if you have probation, you want to see all those that are on probation cycle, you select, then you will see all those that are on probation. Okay. After that, I think we should be comfortable to do appraisal from the word go up to finish. Once you finish, we have several reports on appraisal. So we have master report. Basically, this is a report on what you've configured as the rank, as appraisal cycle, how many cycles do you have, skills you've entered, questionnaires, a template that you've come up with, list of recommendation, and appraisal recommendation on reporting, sorry. So after that, then we have appraisal reports, transaction reports, so many reports, all those processes, scores, those that are due. We have employee goal summary, score summary, employee training in case we have any training that has been recommended, employee score status, you should be able to see that. Those are reports that you can generate from appraisal.